Throwing on the move is a critical part of our offense, and it's part that we have to make sure that we practice every single day. What we've done is we've incorporated a few different drills in our throwing on the move section, which permits us to continue to work on and get better at being able to concentrate on, number one, getting our hips turned, number two, being able to throw as we attack a target, and number three, making sure that we release the football out in front of us rather than wrap the ball too far behind us as we're making the throw on the move. The release point needs to be a little bit further than usual out in front of you, almost like a dart, that your hip has to make sure that it follows through and comes through the entire throw. And really what's critical is that we understand the drop and the dynamics and the fundamentals of a throw doesn't change. You can see right here what we want to make sure we can do is we have to make sure that our guys understand that as you attack the line of scrimmage, that you have to first get your shoulders parallel to your target, and then once you do that, you now have to get your off shoulder, your non-throwing shoulder, pointed at the target prior to the release point. So we start with getting your shoulders parallel, then we force the non-throwing shoulder to be pointing at where your target's going to be. Then we try to get the ball released out in front. And as you can see here with our quarterbacks, as they're attacking the line of scrimmage, we call this a circle drill, where we're able to circle around and be able to keep a constant flow here for about a minute to a minute and a half. At about 45 seconds, we switch and we go counterclockwise in order to attack the line of scrimmage, get our hips around, work on our flexibility, step into our throw still, and make sure that we finish with a nice, accurate, and consistent throw. The next part of throwing on the move is we start working on what we call our keeper drills. Here, because of the fact at the University of Miami that our outside zone game is so much a part of our offense, we need to make sure that we can handle the defensive end with numerous different things. Some teams handle it with a sifter, some teams handle it with reverses, some teams handle it with ghosts or fake reverses. What we like to do is we like to handle the backside end with our keeper or action pass game. A part of our keeper and action pass game is for our quarterback to understand on if you have to throw hot, how do you do it? Well, our terminology here at the University of Miami is to stop and pop. Stop and pop. So what the quarterback's trained to do is upon making his flash fake to the runner on the outside zone, he has got to snap his head around and find the defensive end. If we can get the defensive end to chase the line of scrimmage, then we don't have an issue. If we had, like in this case right here. But in the one prior, if we have the defensive end now force you to stop and pop, we need the down flat runner in this picture right here to stop and mirror or shadow the quarterback. Here, this would be our down flat from the tight end position. He would be stopping because of the upfield rush and be available for the throw. His alerts have got to be to a 9 technique or to an outside blitzer. We also tell our over route to stop and shadow the quarterback, which allows us to stop and pop and make that throw as well. Because we run keepers both from under center and from the gun, we find it necessary to practice it the same way. Here you can see us practicing a keeper with a defensive end that's closing quickly and allowing us to attack the line of scrimmage and throw what we call the easy comeback throw. The only reason why we call it an easy comeback throw is the only time we'll ever throw a comeback in the keeper game is if it's free access and an easy completion. It's kind of what we're looking for here, to only make that throw if it's easy, because we're looking for the down flat or the over route in all other cases. Here we're the final phase of our pocket movement or throwing on the move drill section is when we're throwing our sprint out game. Here you can see our quarterbacks are running sprint option. What we tell our quarterbacks is we line up here in about the right middle or the middle of the field. A sprint option, we're looking at about a 5-step drop by the quarterback. He's taking on his 5th step, he's releasing the football, still making the final step, or his left leg should be the front leg. His back right hip should be bringing through on the throw. His hips should be attacking the line of scrimmage more. And after making the catch, after making the throw, we tell him to follow and become the catcher. We then want this guy to come over here and get back in line, and now we're able to keep a nice rhythmic throw in our drill work without having to start over without having to slow it down or without having to wait for the next guy to get set. You can see as soon as they make the throw, they get in their spot and we're able to keep the drill going. It's a critical part to being able to use all the time that we're permitted to have. Here on the throw, on the run drill circuit, now we're throwing the sprint option, but we're throwing the curl route. Some of you might recognize this from Dwight Clark on The Catch when the San Francisco 49ers played the Dallas Cowboys. Here we're running the sprint right option where we're asking this guy here to run the curl route. We're assuming that our short flat got taken away by the defender, and now we're trying to come back here and on 5 steps stick our right foot in the ground, throw with our left foot, and be able to complete that ball right there for a big-time completion and a big play. These are the drills that we use when we're throwing on the move. This is the work that we do to make sure that we are able to execute our concept of, number one, being able to be a great outside zone team, number two, being able to be a great keeper team and sprint out team. They're easy completions, and I highly recommend to include them in your offense.